Good evening, everyone. I was just popping on here to talk about United Airlines, a play that I took and got out of today. I didn't take as much profit out of it as I would have liked. It did pop up pretty nicely, but just barely missed my sell because, that's the way it works. And then as soon as I sold, it continued to run. Happens to all of us, but I'm happy with my profit. But let's take a look here at this play and why I took it. I think it's a pretty important a thing to do is to really go back and look at your trades and figure out why you took them and maybe what went right, what went wrong. Okay, so we're looking here. I took UAL on the 10th, so this was last week, and it was on Thursday. So you can see here it had kind of a rough day. Looked really good. And we started to come in at the end of the day just overall in the market, and this came right back in, but it was holding just fine. The next day we took a nice little pop up, and immediately we came back down on Fed Bullard's comments, and that's really what kind of got us here on Thursday. Thursday we pulled back in on that. Friday we had the Russia-Ukraine news come out, which really just continued to push us down. Monday, constantly struggling here. Today, we came back in and pushed it right back up, and I went ahead and got out. I didn't get out at the top. I got out a little bit earlier than that, but I want to talk about why I stuck in here, even with these downward candles. This is the time when you go and you look at the SPY. Does it mean you should always hold on? Absolutely not. But here, this is the day I got in on here up in the upper part of the wick. But look what the SPY did. So the SPY really sold off. So this is the 10th. And if you bring it over and then go back to UAL, on the 10th, it pulled in, but it still was holding really quite well. So I'm like, okay, I'll go ahead and stick with it. We had our second day close over the 200, and you can tell down here it was very much struggling to try and get back over that 200. We had the moving averages back here when it exploded to the upside. Why was it exploding? Well, there's multiple reasons, but I think the biggest one here is that we are tired of being pent up. There is so much pent up demand for travel, and the airlines are where we're going. We're now starting to see also that Omicron not as bad as what maybe it was originally painted to be. We have cities and large cities starting to open up and reduce their mask mandates and restrictions, so travel is a hot area. And it's not just the airlines. You can look at the cruise lines, hotel, resorts, everything that has to do with travel and traveling for entertainment. Those are the areas you kind of want to look in. So then we came in, and well, let's go back to the SPY. I know. So we came back in. This was the 10th. And then the 11th on Friday, we came back in. Looked like maybe we might try to recover a little bit. You see where we opened? But look where we closed, right? So continuing move down here and through the 200 on the SPY. Follow-on session, kind of unsure of what it wanted to do. So let's look back over here at United Airlines. Moved just perfectly with the overall market. It came in and on this big explosion up here through the 20 and 50 when it closed, and this is a point of control area, this real red, that's just a lot of volume. We held that. We bounced the fib line, we held it, so I hung in there, and sure enough, today we came back in up over the 200. Now, could this have continued to fail? Absolutely. And if we had dropped and closed below this fib line, would have gone ahead, taken the loss, licked my wounds, and be gone with it. But we didn't see that, and we really are pushing as hard as we can against all of this news, and we have a lot of it coming out. So why did I go ahead and take profits a little bit earlier today? Well, it's a little bit different when you're alerting your trades to everybody. If anybody tells you it's not, well, there's a lot more pressure to be like, hey, let's go ahead and get some profits, take some partial profits, especially with all the news kind of surrounding us, right? So we have a lot of geopolitical news with Russia and Ukraine. We have the rate hike news, FOMC this week. We're heading into a long weekend. it's options expiration. There's so much going on that I decided to go ahead and take that profit so I can put that money to work elsewhere. All right, so I got into this trade, like I said, on the 10th. I had the 318 UAL 50 calls. I got in at 275, and today I closed those at 299 this afternoon. All right, that is it for me here on UAL. If you have any questions, please reach out, heatherc@givingtreetrading.com.